Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Coding 101. In this episode of Coding 101, we're going to be doing triangular patterns. So we're going to be printing triangular patterns. It's a pretty much simple and basic exercise. So because that's how we do it out here in Coding 101. So before we get into that, I just want to tell you that on Saturday, I will be posting a video on how to do a simple calculator using Java. So please watch out for that. Make sure you subscribe and leave a comment on the comment section. And if there's any exercise that you want me to help you with, if there's any assignment that you've been given and you want me to help you with, make sure you hit me up on my email. I'm going to leave my email on the comment section. Make sure you check that out. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, and make sure you subscribe, because that keeps my channel going. Let's get straight into it. So this is a pretty much simple exercise. Let me just show you the triangle patterns that we want printed. This is our first triangle that should be printed over here. Look at that. That's beautiful, right? So of course we need the number of rows and as input, because we need to know how many do you want printed. Like over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So the number of rows here was probably 5. The number of rows is the key element that guides on the size of the triangle. And this is our second triangle, and this is our third triangle that we want printed, and this is our fourth triangle that we want printed. There's actually a fifth triangle that we want printed. I'm going to show that to you as time goes on in this video. So let's just get into it, right? So this is a very simple exercise. Once you know how to use a for loop and a print statement, you are good to go. So let's just put n as the number of rows that need to be printed, which will guide us in the size of the triangle that needs to be printed. So let's just use our for loop there, and we say for x in range, and we're going to say n plus 1 because we want the exact number of rows printed. Because if we say n, remember that x is going to start from 0, and it's once you get 0, and I'm going to show you, wait, let's just do the print statement first before I explain that to you. And so we're going to just use an asterisk here, and we're going to put a space just to make it much more formal or something. And then we're going to say times x. So if we start from 0, that means this x over here is going to be 0, and 0 times this asterisk, it's not going to give us anything. So we need to have exactly 5. And remember that for x in range n plus 1, that means x is going to start at 0 and end at n, and n plus 1 is not actually included in the range. It just shows you where to actually stop. So that's why we had to put n plus 1 there. So we have exactly the number of rows we want printed. I'm not sure if I explained that better, but I hope you understand, English is not my first language, so you're gonna have to forgive me there. So let's just put 5 there, and let's see, let's just finish that. Let's put 5, let's test this, put 5 over there. Oh no, don't put 55, that's gonna be a huge triangle. There you go, there you have it. So that's a beautiful triangle. It has the 5 rows over here. So let's just go to the second triangle over here. This is our second triangle. So if you pretty much got the sense of how to do the first triangle, I feel like you can do the second triangle as well. So should I skip this triangle and so that you can do it on your own? Alright, fine. I will do it. It's okay. So try 2. This is our second triangle. And just use our for loop for x in range. In this one you can just put n, and you do that, and then we just print n, and we just put our asterisks there, put a space just to make it more beautiful. And because this one is in sort of a descending format, it's like descending because the number of rows, the asterisks here are descending. We're going to have to do it in a descending type of a way, so we're gonna have to put it like a subtraction or some shit. If you say, I did not say that. So it's just like n minus x, and this is going to print your triangle in sort of a descending order. So let's just try that and see if that will work. And it says we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Okay, so I think the problem is that over here we did not put like brackets or something, so it gets confused because it's gonna use this part over here. I'm guessing it's gonna use this part over here, and then it's like, hey, what about this minus x? What's up with that? You know, so I think that's probably the error over there. And the bad thing about using the terminal instead of using idle is that you can't go back and correct your errors, you know, because you're in the Python shell. You're not in the actual Python thingy, Python file where you can just go back and correct your errors properly. You're gonna have to print the whole thing all over again. So do that, and then you just put minus x here, and that should do it, right? That should do it. Let's try again. Okay, and there you go. And you can count the number of rows again: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's that. And so now let's go to the other triangle, this triangle over here in particular. Let me hope you can see. This is the triangle that we want to print next. This one is a bit tricky, but I feel like you should be able to like master it properly, because all it takes is one print statement. It doesn't take anything else. Only one print statement will save the day. So def try 3. So, and we're just gonna go for x in range n. Okay, over there. Now before we go to the print statement, I just want to draw your eyes to something, draw your attention to something. In that, notice that in this particular triangle, we're not only paying attention to the number of asterisks that are printed per row, we're also paying attention to the number of space that is available in each row before the asterisks. So the space over here, we need to make sure we control the amount of space that is used in that triangle. So we're not only controlling the space, we're controlling the asterisk as well. So not only controlling the asterisk, we're controlling the space as well. So make sure you print the space first. You just do that, and you will notice that the space in this particular instant is exactly similar to this triangle that we just did over here. So I was just thinking, hey, why don't we just use the triangle over there to control the space that is printed. And after that, what do? We print the asterisks, because you can see that the asterisks here are in ascending fashion, so it's pretty much similar to the first thing that the first triangle that we did, which is the triangle over here. So it's in like a descending, sort of a descending format. So that means we're gonna just use x in this particular instant, and we're just gonna say and equals to space, because we don't want everything that we're printing here to be printed in one line. We want it to be printed in sorry, there's a bit of a problem here. Okay, I'm guessing I need to put everything here in like a sort of like a bracket. I don't know. This is Python 3.9, I think. So anything goes. Let's just copy this because I don't feel like putting this. Okay, you know what? Let's just start from the top, you know, because I'm never using Python this terminal thing again, because it's just so rude. Actually, we're gonna be using it for a couple of more exercises that I want us to do, so bear with me. Okay. So what was the problem there? We didn't put like a multiplication sign, and so it's wondering, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing, Kutla? Like, what the heck is that? You need to pay more attention. Okay, so print, and then you just do n minus x over there, and then we make sure we don't forget our multiplication sign this time around. There we go. So this was where the error was, and just do this. Oh no, we forgot something. We're supposed to skip a line. We're supposed to skip a line before that, before we do everything. We actually need that print statement that allows us to go to the next line, because otherwise everything is just going to be printed in one row, and we don't want that. Okay, so I'm doing this as slow as I can, so that you guys can like catch up and see exactly. It's good, you know, it's good as a developer to show some of these errors, because I could have went to my video editor and edited them out and show myself as this sheer perfect coder. But I think it's good that you see some of these errors, because you get to learn something from it. So just print. So this is gonna just skip a line for us, so that everything is not printed in like one single row. I swear, if it doesn't work this time, I am going to bite my hand, honestly. And there you go. There you go. So in order to print now, to print this last triangle that we have here, but before we do that, I just want to show you a special type of triangle, which is just printed through like just, there's another triangle, a triangle that will be like in a sort of like a slant kind of a way. It'll be like a version of this one, but it would be like sort of like if you reflect this triangle, it'll be like a reflected version of this one. So if you want to do like a reflected version of this one right here, all you have to do is so simple. You just have to put like more space over here. You see this particular line over here? You just have to put more space there, and you would have a reflected version of this triangle over there. We're not going to do that, so we're going to do this one over here. So this one is pretty much like sort of a reflected version of this one. So we're going to do that reflection. Reflect we shall. Put the number of rows in there, and we're just going to do that, and we're just going to say for x and range n. And we just say, so this is pretty much as simple as swapping the multiplier. So in this time, instead of multiplying with n minus x, we're going to actually multiply with x, because you will see that the space in this particular triangle corresponds with our first triangle. Okay, first triangle, I'll have you know. Oh no, there's something that we're missing over here, like that we forgot to do over here, is actually the fact that let's just finish with this. You will notice that we only have 4 rows here. We're supposed to have 5 rows, so I encourage you to put like an extra n plus 1 over here, and put an n plus 1 over here, so to make sure that you get like 5 rows instead of 4 rows, because we only have 4 rows over here. So we're going to be like doing that in this one, in the fourth triangle. Make sure we don't do that mistake again, and we just do this one and say for x in range, and we say n plus 1. Get that? And we just print, and we just say space times x. And then for the asterisks, I'm gonna make sure we printed. Remember that the other time we did like n minus x. So no, actually the other time we did x, so we're going to be just swapping the multipliers, and we're going to be, this one we're going to be doing n minus x, but we're not going to be doing n minus x, we're going to be doing n minus x plus 1, right? Just to make sure we have the right amount of asterisks there. So let's just look at that, and I feel like that's perfect. There's no need to do anything except to put our print statement that is just going to skip a line for us. And just so we test that, and we put a 5 over there, and there you go. 1, 2, 3. This is a lot of triangles. There's a lot of triangles. So I'm guessing just play around with this. There's a lot of triangles, so I'm guessing I might be missing the number of rows. Actually, that's a lot of rows. So just play around with this and make sure you just correct it. So I'm gonna leave the correction to you guys so that you can fix this on your own. I could look into it and see where the error is, but I just want you to just figure it out for yourself, and so that you can just learn more. So that's it for today's episode. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you leave a comment on the comment section. I promise you on the next episode we're not going to be having as many errors as this. It's not indicative of like Coding 101. I will see you next time on Coding 101.